everybody, and welcome back to Organized Joy, your channel with tips and tricks on how to be more organized. Now, as we're approaching the end of the year, people are going on holiday, so we're also into the H's now. So what I thought we would do is hand luggage, because I'm sure a lot of people will be traveling, and how do you manage yourself? Hand luggage is such a tricky thing. You don't want to take stuff that's too heavy, that you're carrying with you the whole time. You also don't want to forget something. You also don't want to have something in the main part of a plane that you actually want as your hand luggage. So I thought I would share with you what I've worked out over the last 43 years of my life. Not that I've been deciding about hand luggage all that time, but with my travels, whether that's been business travels overseas or locally, hand luggage has become pretty key to me, and I think I've worked out a pretty good system, and that's why I thought I'd share it with you. I've got 3 types of hand luggage, or 3 options. Sometimes I use 2 at the same time. Well, actually generally there'll always be 2, because one's your handbag, right? So let's start there. The handbag that I take, I always put handbags like clutch bags and bigger bags into my main suitcase. And then as my handbag, I take a backpack, right? So this is my backpack. What's great about it is it takes a fair amount of stuff. It fits quite a bit in. And at least then it's on your back. You're not trying to carry it where if you do end up with something from duty free, or you need to carry something else, that you're not now trying to hold 2 things. Also, a lot of bags have no zip at the top, so you don't want to be having that as your handbag while you're traveling, because people can just stick their hands in it and take it when you're standing in a queue. So that's why my backpack is really, really key to me. I always use it as I'm actually doing the traveling part of my trip. And it's also nice to have as your casual bag when you're then on holiday. So that's option number 1, is the handbag. The next item that I term my hand luggage is my infamous Mac bag. Now this bag is fantastic. I end up taking lots and lots of things in it. I'm going to try and show you this bag in a bit more detail. Hopefully that will give you a bit of an idea. Can you see all these little pockets? It holds so much in them with zips. Then there's a section in the middle. Often I put my laptop or books into that, and then there are all my little plastic things that hold all my cosmetics and things that might pop open and spill, and then there's more space to pop things into here. This bag is fantastic. You can hold your laptop in it and pull it out for when you need to go through security, etc. And it's got 2 lovely handles to carry this way, and also one to put over my shoulder. The third one that I have is a suitcase, a little suitcase on wheels. Obviously it's small enough that it's considered hand luggage, and it's a nice little bag that then you can travel with. It's got the handle that also pulls up, obviously, so that you can move around with it quite easily in an airport or in a train or tubes, or depending on where you may be. So those are my 3 hand luggage options. I either end up with these 2 or I would end up with these 2, right? Depending on what kind of a trip I have. The next thing I wanted to share is what goes into your hand luggage. Now, hand luggage is tricky. You don't want to end up lugging a bag that you actually can't even pick up around, because there's nothing worse than that. But at the same time, you need to have key items in it. Now, I'm pretty strict about this. I take everything with me as hand luggage that I would need the next day in case my bag goes missing, because it happens. It's never happened to me, touch wood, but it does happen. So what goes into my hand luggage? I always keep all my jewelry that I'm taking with me. I don't want that in the main suitcase where somebody could possibly get to it. So all my jewelry, all my makeup, all my cosmetics. Remember, cosmetics need to be in 100 ml bottles, so that is something that you have to think about. I also always take with all my vitamins and my supplements go into my hand luggage. And with makeup, don't forget, but it is part of your cosmetics, is to always have your makeup remover for when you're the next morning coming out of an aeroplane. If you have traveled overnight, you want to be able to look okay because you can pop into the bathroom before your bag comes out. The other two key things that I take with is I always travel with travel socks, and I always travel with my poncho. I have a black cashmere poncho that I put on, and I travel with that. It's key for aeroplanes. You never know how cold it's going to be in an aeroplane, and it often is freezing, so I always travel with that. I also always have a clean set of underwear with me, because if you need it for the next morning, if you're checking into a hotel that doesn't allow you to check in at the time that you arrive, which often happens when you're leaving from South Africa, you get to the next place at 7 a.m. in the morning and you can only check in at 12. What do? You want to be able to get into a bathroom, use your cosmetics and your makeup and a new set of underwear, and make yourself feel decent for the next few hours. The other things that I always take in my hand luggage with me are my laptop and my cell phone. My actual charging cables, because they're really big and heavy, I put into my suitcase. But then in my hand luggage, I also make sure I have like a battery pack to charge my cell phone, because often you're flying and connecting flights and then your battery dies. So you want to be able to charge it. And I also always have my earphones with me. I don't like those earphones they give you in an airplane, so earphones are key. And then what I also always have with me is my special tea. So if that's peppermint tea or ginger and honey tea or whatever it may be, I just like to know that if need be, I can get myself some hot water and pop in a tea bag to sort myself out. So that is hand luggage. I will obviously give you this on a list. You can go to my website, organisedjoy.co.za, at the download section, and get a list of all the things I put into my hand luggage to make it easier for you for when you travel. I hope you have safe travels this holiday season, and yeah, see you next episode. Thanks for joining me at Organized Joy.